that even mean, Bowers game?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, and today very excited to check out Crazy Nines, the golf card game from West Ant. This is for 2 to 8 players. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine this at 8 players. 20 to 30 minutes to play. Take you ages 8 plus. You can fix that in your brain. This is yet another spin on the very popular genre, which I am going to show you exactly how it plays over the course of a round, and you play over the course of 9 rounds, aka 9 holes, so you'll know exactly how to play, and then I'm going to give you, me, and my family's thoughts from trying it out. Alrighty, so we're going to take a look at what you get inside of Crazy Nines. It's got a nice magnetic clasp box there, which is it's nice looking. But right now I got a 2-player game set up, and I'm going to take you through a round of the game because you're really just going to play over the course of 9 holes, aka 9 rounds. So once you've played 1 round, you've pretty much played every round. So at the beginning of the game, you're just going to randomly, I think it was draw a card to see who has the highest number, and they're going to go first pretty much, and then you're going to go clockwise around the table like normal. And then what you're going to do is everyone's going to flip over 2 of their 9 face-down cards. So if this is a 6-player game, we could have 6 people with all these cards in front of them. Everyone's just going to flip over 2 of them. So just bada boom, you can flip over wherever you want. There is some strategy in this, not like a huge amount, but there's definitely some strategy in this aspect of the game. And now you're going to start the game. So the player to the left of the dealer is going to be the first player to go. And the dealer is going to be the player with the lowest score at the end of each round. So essentially, if you win a round, you're going to go last. Every single time, and the person to the left of you is going to go first. And what you do on your turn is really super simple. So you are either going to take the top face-down card or the top face-up card in the discard pile. And if you take the top face-up card in the discard pile, you have to put it out somewhere. There's there's one weird situation, I think, where you wouldn't have to at the very end of the game, but it would make absolutely no sense for you, and it would be stupid. So we're not even going to talk about it. Why did I talk about it? Moving on. Okay, so you can take the top card of this, and you can put it out there, and that'd be good, because it's oh, look, I got rid of this 10, and I replaced it with a 4, because what you're trying to do, if you have not guessed yet, is, the very popular just deck of card game, golf, is trying to have the lowest score of the 9 cards that are in front of you. So right now, my score that's visible is 10. Their score is 13. So this part, it's fine, but it's not what I want. I'm going to take the top card, because your other choice is you can take the top card right here. And if you do this, you don't have to play it out. You could just take it and say, oh, this card sucks, I don't want to put it out anywhere, and then place it right here. If you do that, though, you do have to flip over one of your cards, unless that is the last card that you flip over, in which case you're not ever forced, I don't believe, to flip over that card if you don't want to. And I'll explain why a little bit later. So this isn't a particularly great card for me, so all I'll do is I'll just replace the trees with a double bogey, and now it moves on to the next player clockwise around the table. Now, in addition to having low numbers out here, you also can get 3 in a row, 4 square, or 6, so it'd be two groups of 3 pretty much. And if you get 3 in a row, then all 3 of those are 0. So if you had 3 double bogeys right here, that's actually 0 points. So that's definitely one of the strategic aspects of the game. So looking over here, they got a snowman, they got a bogey. They're obviously going to take the top card. It's a bogey. And you'd say, oh, that kind of sucks. But it's not actually that terrible. So I think what I might do is I might just slide this bogey right here. I know I was thinking about there, but I think I might slide it here, because if you can get a 4 square, it's really good, then you actually lose points. So that's huge. So yeah, I think I'll go here. And then this, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's a 9 rough. So that actually was a great move. So it goes over here. They don't want the 9 rough. They take the top card. They got a snowman. That kind of sucks for them. I guess they'd probably just discard it and say, you know what, let's see what's right here. It's another double bogey. So now they're in the lookout for a double bogey, and I'm over here saying, well, that snowman is awfully appealing to me, because yes, obviously it's an 8, which sucks, but I know that I'm going to try and get 2 bogeys here or 1 bogey there, which means maybe I go 3 snowman over here. Maybe I'm just trying to get the worst cards, and I say, you know what, it's crazy enough, it might work. I flip that over, and it's another snowman, and I think, oh, I would have just done that one. Oh, okay, so this person over here obviously doesn't want the snowman, but they're like, oh, I got to pay attention, because if I hand him a snowman, it's bad news, but I don't want to hold on to a snowman. We got a birdie here. This is a no-brainer. I think we will put that. I don't think this player is going to be that greedy trying to get 4 of a kind. I think they just do that right here on their mulligan, and it's a water. They're happy with that. It moves on to the next player. They got that double bogey, and this is where things get really interesting because they can't just hand off this double bogey. It's not that simple. They hand off the double bogey, then obviously they're going to snatch that right up, which means now this player has essentially forced me to keep a double bogey, which is an interesting aspect in the strategy there, because now I'm like, well, I'm going to give up my dream of having a snowman just to spite you on the double bogey. Dag nabbit. All right, so now we go over here. They don't want the snowman. They got an albatross. That's great. I think they just splice it right down there. Ooh, an eagle. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll get rid of this snowman because now we're out of the snowman game. Moves back over to this player. They got themselves a mulligan. Oh, so beautiful. Slide it right up on there. There's a par. You know, I'm not against a par, honestly, but I need a bogey. Don't need water. Discard, flip that over, hope it's a bogey. It's a rough. That sucks. This player goes. They got a par once again. I think maybe they pivot right now. Yeah, I think they say, whatever, we're just going to try and end this game as fast as we can because you look like you're in a way worse shape than we are right now. So let's do that. And there's a triple bogey, even better. Back over to this player. Albatross, that's great. I think my dreams of getting 3 bogeys here is over, so I'm going to go right there and go double bogey. Oh, no! Everything I tried to do failed. This guy's like, yep, thank you. Doesn't even care that that's trees. And now this player clearly about to crush this round. Even though I did draw a hole in one, that's awfully nice. I think we'll get rid of this. Well, you don't want to get rid of the rough there. Because if you get rid of the rough, you can't, like, even if you draw the bogey, it's still no good to you. So I guess you got to get, oh, get rid of the double bogey. Obviously, double bogey doesn't mean anything right now. And I just hope these are 3 good ones. So this player right here, that double bogey won't do anything for him unless they had it in a 4 squares now. So they're just content having that as a 0. They have another double bogey. And honestly, I think in this instance in a 2-player game, I would hold on to this. And this is one of those levels of strategy, like as I'm playing with my kids, like, oh, why are you holding on to double bogey? Why I'm holding on to double bogey? Because I know I'm going to kick your butt. And there's the bogey right there. So how this works is, that's actually really awesome too, is once someone has completely revealed all their cards, the end of the round, or the hole, is triggered. But it's not over yet. Everyone else has one more turn to do something. So, yeah. We're going to flip over. No, I'm going to take the bogey. What am I thinking? Yeah, obviously, that's huge. That's a massive break for us. So now, let's show you how the point scoring works. Over here, we have these 3 6s. They're negated. That's 0 points. Here, however, that's 13 points. 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus the 0 plus the 0. That's really nice. So 14. So we take over here and we say the left hand is on 14. Now, one thing that I wish was nicer in this score pad was maybe just a way to mark who in each round, who went out, because by revealing all your cards, because like I said, you always have the option not to reveal your final card if you want to. You could like pick up this and you say, no, I'm not going to play it. You could do that, because if you initiate the end of a hole and you don't have the lowest score, you get a 10-point penalty. So you want to make sure if you're doing that you're right, because 10 points, I mean, that will make the difference in this game. We've had some very close games at home with this. So moving on over here, it's fun. It's a little surprise. We got 0. That cancels out to 0. We got 2. We got 2. Oh, these are low numbers. We might pull this off. That's not good. It's 12. But you can imagine how exciting it would be. Let's pretend that was not here. Oh, look at that. Now we're at 16. And now we're at 6. Now we're at what are we, 13? Oh, we're 13! So, like, if I would have done this another way, that's just a super exciting moment where you and your family would have had, and then you would have saw the 10, and you would have laughed, and like, we got so close. It's super fun. And you can see those moments even in this one-round gameplay demonstration. And now, so this person would get their points, was it like 23 or whatever, 29, I don't know, 23, and then you'd write it down in the next, and there's a second total and a third score and a third total, and you do that over the course of 9 holes, just reshuffling and redealing every single time. And the person who has the most points, the fewest points after the 9th hole is the winner of Crazy Nines, the golf card game. Now, there are also some variants I want to mention here, because we didn't play with them, but where you could play a 6-card game for a shorter game, and then there's also one down here for like an 8-card game. We did not try those, but there's Crazy Nines. Alrighty, the Crazy Nines from West Ant. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros. Let's go over the cons. First, on the con side. I do want to mention right from the jump, I did not play this at the higher player counts. At most, I played it at 3. And I don't think I would really want to play it any higher than that. Now, granted, I was playing with 2 kids, ages 8 and 11, which, you know, they don't go as fast as most adults most of the time, and that's fine. But I could not imagine playing with 6, 7, or 8 people with this game. So if you're looking at this as a game that's going to go at this big player counts potentially, you need to know that this is more of a sit around and chit chat and socialize and, you know, kind of that style game. Because otherwise, it's a lot of downtime between turns, I would imagine. Because even at 3 players, sometimes like, this game takes quite a while, and that's due to the repetitive nature of the game. It's just 9 holes, and each hole is the exact same over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah, the cards that are out, and the 2 cards you reveal are going to be different, and the cards that pop up, and the different scenarios that play out, and you'll have fun. But the game, even at 2 and 3 players, which is the only player count I play, then you saw me play it by myself, but that doesn't really count. It felt like it could have been a bit shorter. It felt like the only reason that it's 9 rounds is because it's golf, honestly. I feel like you could have been cool at 6. We get the gist at 6. And I feel like they felt that way too, because they mentioned that in the rules. Like, oh, hey, here's the quick play version if you want to play 6 cards or 8 cards. I did not try either of those variants. I don't think I will, honestly, because my family did enjoy the experience with 9 cards. And yeah, I don't think I'd like it nearly as much at 6 and 8 cards now that I'm really thinking about it. But it definitely would make it quicker, which would be, you'd get most of the feeling for the same, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try it one of these times, but I probably won't. Well, I probably won't. It also says party game on here, which is interesting. Party setting. Yeah, I can see that working as well. You know, once again, like I said, you got to know the situation. The situation is if people are just sitting around chit-chatting, kind of having fun, and this is not the main attraction, but this is the background to what you're doing. I think it's going to go over a lot better than if it's the main thing. Because here's the bottom line. I might do a thoughts from the corner on this as well, where I play it with my game night and we all give our thoughts on this. But I have a feeling I know exactly what they're going to say is, this is way too long for what it is. I think that's the only major con I have with it, honestly. You know, the gamer in me would love to see some more wild, out there, unique cards. Like, I feel like this game could really be amazing with an expansion. Like, for me, I put it in a very good category for what it tries to do, assuming you're playing at the lower player count. So as a family game, I think this is a very good family game. If you're playing it as a party, I think it's a very good party game. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's one people are like, oh my gosh, you didn't bring golf. Go back home, Kyle. Like, it's not like the Resistance or something like that, where we're starting to talk about my rankings like 8s and 9s. No, I'm putting it about like a 7-ish. It's in the 7s. I'd say about 7.7 for me is where I'd put it. And that's honestly, no, I'd go a little bit higher, but here's the thing. I know if I played at a higher player count, my opinion's going to go down. Like, I just know it because I saw it at 2 and 3 players. I was like, oh, okay. Throw 3 more people in between that and let's have some fun. Throw 4 more people in between that and let's have some fun. Hell, throw 5 more people in between that and have that some fun. So that's, and honestly, I keep hammering on this point. That's the biggest point because other than that, it's a pretty simple, fun golf game. Moving on to the pros, I enjoyed it. My kids enjoyed it. They want to play it again. We all agreed that it wasn't good enough to stay at the house, but it was more of a camper-style game. We actually have this tiered system, me and my kids do, where it's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind if I didn't see that game all winter. You know, like that sort of thing. And maybe it'll get played once every 6 years up at the lake when we go visit, because we got this crappy little, well, it's not crappy, but I mean, it is crappy. Most people would say it's a little tiny camper, an old 80s beat-up camper on this tiny, tiny, tiny lake that's full of railroad spikes. Oh my God, it's terrible. It's right next to the railroad. It just shakes everything when the railroads come by, and then you get 2 railroads going by. Ooh, I've tried to shoot videos on that thing. It's interesting. Sorry for the non sequitur. Back to the game. It's fine. It's good. I recommend it if you like this style game, and if you're going to play at the lower player counts. I mean, just in the middle example, you saw all the fun stuff that can be had. Like, especially when people start to try and go for those, 3-of-a-kinds or the 4-of-a-kinds or, Jimmy Christmas, a 6-of-a-kind. And then, by doing that, you're forcing your opponents to play around you. Like, maybe I'll just hold on to this bogey because I don't want to give you this bogey because then it's going to really help you out. And it's an interesting dynamic as well. Very much luck driven. I think that's another con of this game. While there is definitely some strategy in here, I'm not saying it's full luck, but there's a lot of luck. If you just happen to get, and it could just be as simple as you flipping over the right 2 cards. Like if you flip over the right 2 cards right at the beginning, you can be in a really good position. But it's a luck driven game. It's a family game. It's a party game. I'm not going to knock it too hard for that. Final thoughts on Crazy Nines from West Ant. This one is a lukewarm recommendation, really. At the end of the day, it's good. It's good. My kids think it's very good. I think it's good. The more I think about it, I'm like, it's okay. But because at the end of the day, with a game like this, I look around my shelves and I say, okay, when will I get this game played, right? In what situations will I get this game played? And then I say to myself, okay, well, now that I'm in these 3 situations, whatever these situations are, what other games would I rather play than this? And if I can immediately just start drilling off like 2, 3, 4, just looking around me, which I can, that's when for me it's like, okay, maybe it's the Regency bias of like, oh yeah, I had some fun family experiences with my kids, and we haven't played games in actually way longer than I'd like to say, like a month or 2. We have not been playing many games. But, yeah, it's fine. Will I recommend it? Not really. Not really. It's if your kids like golf, yeah, you know what? I take that back. Your kids like golf, they're going to enjoy this one. It's easy to learn. It's easy to teach. I am a stick in the mud right now. My kids had a good time with this one, and I think it is good to very good. And I do recommend it if you're in the market for this sort of thing. There, it's Crazy Nines. This thing went off the rail in the end. This is why I like doing the thoughts from the corner. Normally, it's like there's people there to lasso me in, and now I'm just talking about sleeping in a camper down by a little tiny lake with some railroad tracks just take everything. It is intense. I should shoot a video on sometime. But let me know in the comments below. Have you played Crazy Nines? Probably not, most likely. It's a relatively new game. But what's your favorite game of this genre? Recommend me a golf-style game that's got some meat on it. Give me a medium-weight Euro golf-style game. Oh my gosh, does that exist? Please tell me there's one in the top 3,000 on Board Game Geek in the comments below. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button and potentially consider supporting the Patreon. I don't, I need to focus more on kind of pitching the Patreon, but I don't know how to do it because I don't do anything special on the Patreon, and I don't know what to do special on the Patreon. So if you just want to help me out, because I'll make more videos, the more page, I don't know how to do it. I gotta get better at that sort of stuff. Maybe you can let me know how in the comments below, because that also tickles the YouTube algorithms. That's why people do it. It's like, hey, that's I'm sure most people knew that though, but. Jesus, I forget how to end these videos now. I just feel like I don't want to break eye contact. I'm sorry. I gotta go though. It's late. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.